Hey, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a education in how I do things. Maybe not an education, just more of a demonstration again of some of the things I work on here when I'm trying to figure stuff out. Um, I had been noticing my hunter having problems with DPS. I mean, I downed Omnitron the second week after Kata came out, and I was doing about 11k DPS on that fight. That's a lot of switching of targets, a lot of movement. So I'm clipping, my hard casts of things. And so, this was in all blues. I didn't have any epics. Of course I didn't have any epics. It was the second week of the expansion. And then, this was our first, guild first raid kill was Omnitron. And I actually got the chest piece from that first kill. But anyway, after 4.2 was dropped, I noticed my DPS went way down. I mean, it was just crazy. I don't know if they'd fixed something that was giving me a benefit before, but no longer was. I know they changed careful aim, but still, I don't think that would account for this much of a change. Like for example, on Throne of the Four Winds, that eastern platform, I would be the one DPS on that eastern platform. And at the beginning of the fight, I would burst 30k in the first 30 seconds using my rapid fire readiness rapid fire rotation. And for our first ever kill of that fight, I was doing that. I was doing 30 to 31k every attempt on that fight. And this was during 4.0.6, 4.1. I can't remember exactly when it was. Now I can barely break 22k. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? So, I finally got frustrated with it because I noticed all hunters across the board have seemed to have gone down in DPS. At least all the hunters in my guild. And I got like 7 of them that are raid ready. And this is a 10-man raiding guild. And, it's crazy how many hunters I have. And it's hard to get a raid that doesn't have 3 of them wanting to go at once. Plus me, so 4. So anyway, I did a little bit of work on my tune today. I started off with this base. And as you can see, I was keeping track of some things. Ignore column C, don't worry about that. But the listed DPS in the, that kind of varied. I had to keep on hitting the training dummy to keep my fluid death fully stacked. But so, there's my attack power, the change in it and all that stuff. My weapon speed, haste, 2x SS, that's 2 times steady shot haste. So that's adding 15%. That's something that really surprised me. It's supposed to add 15%, but you can see that third column J there. That's the difference in haste percentages just by doing 2 steady shots. So why is it that when you do 2 steady shots it adds 15%, it actually puts on another 2.8% on top of that? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know where that formula is coming from. There's far too many haste modifiers going on here, and I just couldn't track it all down. But suffice to say that that what that really tells me is keeping that 2x haste, 2x steady shot haste up, that 15% buff, is very important. But it gives you more than 15%, let me tell you. The focus regen per second doesn't change much with haste. It's kind of interesting that way. That's your raw, not even casting focus regen. My hit rating, crit percent. It says trinket crit there, but that's actually the woodchucker scope. When that thing procs, you get 300 more agility, so you get a little bit more crit. My mastery, and then actual DPS. Now, you'll notice my base is 18k, right? And I was doing it for 183 seconds on the dummy just to get a baseline. And I was kind of staying steady at 18k after it stabilized. My piercing shots stabilized, and that kind of thing. So I respect, got rid of pathing and careful aim, just left those points unspent. And that brought it down to 14k. So then I added pathing back, and it brought me up to 14.5. And you can see it didn't really make much of a difference. You know, you can see the big difference in haste. That's what's interesting is pathing, when I put 3% on, it goes up by 3.45%, from 15.2 to 18.65, right? You know, let me show you this way. You know, now I got the little cursor there. And the difference here, you know, it goes, you know, 3.45 there, but the difference here is actually more, almost 4%. So again, it's like the more base haste you get, the more it's modifying your 15% haste upwards. So that, you know, if I wanted to, I could actually, you know, do this where it's like equals this minus that, and so okay, so I went down 3.45 here, but I actually went down 3.97. You can see that? So I went back up 3.45, went back up 3.97 with the pathing. Then I did a regem and reenchant, got rid of some haste enchants. I didn't have any haste on my gems, but, you know, so I lost 0.56% on the base, but with the 15% haste buff, I actually lost 0.65%. Crazy, huh? And then I reforged. I got out of a lot of haste, increased my crit a little. I needed to do a complete reset of my reforging anyway. It was so mishmashed with my hit rating and everything. So I lost 6.36%, but I actually lost 7.31%. Right? And I tried a spec where I took 2 points out of pathing and put 2 into beast mastery. You know, basically, so it was a 6.3 rather than a 5.2 in beast mastery. But as you can see, you know, that was a bad idea. The best combination after I reforged away from haste and into mastery was, you know, was here where I had that base of 11.73%. The more haste I dumped on the bottom end, but keeping pathing, it was crazy. I stayed up there, and that's with just Aspect of the Hawk, True Shot Aura, and my pet's Roar of Courage. I was using a cat, so I got the Roar of Courage. So it's just like if I had a warrior in the group doing the shout. I didn't try it with a wolf, but, you know, so I wanted to stay consistent. So this is all with the same buffs. And all with me pre-stacking my Fluid Death to 10 stacks before I reset, recount, and started over, so I didn't have a ramp-up time. So 15.6k, you know, with base self buffs. Then I went, and this is the real test to me. Before I did all of this, I buffed myself with Agility Food, Agility Flask, Drums of the Forgotten Kings, and that's normally what I'm testing with on the dummies. And I put Careful Aim back on, went back to my normal spec, and you know, went back at the training dummy. Now normally, what I would be doing is, like, you know, and all these tests I was just doing a basic steady, you know, aim steady chimera type of rotation. Wasn't popping any trinkets, cooldowns, potions, nothing. Basic. You know, Serpent Sting on the target, and all I'm doing is, you know, steadies, aimed, and chimera. I wasn't using arcane as a filler. I was hard casting, aimed shot, that kind of thing. I didn't test at all with arcane because I didn't want to change too many variables and confound the data. So here I am testing all this stuff, and normally recently when I've been teaching my other hunters like their rotations and stuff, and I'm showing them, you know, stuff on the training dummy, I would do this, and I would, you know, burst to 22, 23k and settle down to 20k after I did my rapid fire readiness rapid fire rotation. Well, after oh, I'm running out of time. I'm probably going to have to go. Is it going to stop me at 10? No, it's going to stop me at 15. Okay, well, long story short, after all these changes, dropping the haste, going into mastery instead, where, basically hit capped, haste capped. I'm haste capping myself at around 12%, and I figure that's about right. And then everything else goes into crit. Everything has crit on it, and if it already has crit, then I go into mastery. And you'll notice I put my mastery from 19 to 26%. So that extra 7% mastery, extra like 0.6% crit, I was staying steady at 22.5k rather than 20k. So when I'm fully raid buffed, I probably should be back up to where I think I should be. I hope this helps, and I wish you luck in your hunting.